Good evening, guys. We'll start in another couple of minutes. So today, I think we've finished Kanban. So what is? We have to do principles here. Agile principles, values, Scrum principles, and values. They will ask you 100%, and you are hired primarily for coaching your teams to follow these principles and values. Okay, let's start here. So agile principles and values. First of all, there are Scrum values, there are agile values, there are agile principles. Okay. Scrum values is basically mindset, how to behave. Scrum values is basically how to behave. That's the cheat sheet I am giving. Scrum values is how to behave. Agile values is what matters most. Agile values is what matters most. And agile principles is how to act on a day-to-day basis. So if you look at Scrum value, how do you behave? You behave with commitment. You should have focus. You should have openness. You should have respect. You should have courage. That's your how to behave. Then agile values is what matter most. Working software over documentation, responding to change over following a plan, customer collaboration over negotiation, individual interaction over process and tools. These are things which matter, which we'll get into more details. So if you can explain these things in the correct manner. Okay, so at the end of today's session, today I'm not going to coach much, but I'm going to make you remember those things. There, we cannot live without it. In your interview, they are expecting you to know these things by heart because you are hired to tell developers and coders and the management what are the best practices which the top world-class teams do. So I'll give you a very simple analogy. Let us say all the T20 teams in the world, all the leagues in the world, teams that do not play off spinners or finger spinners, that play leg spinners are successful. So that's a good practice from all the great teams. I'm going to copy that. My probability of success increases. So what is it that the best teams in the world, in the software world are doing? Whatever they are doing, I am going to use some of those practices. My probability of success increases. So do not think this is theory. These are your practical guidelines. Scrum values is the mindset. Agile values is the philosophy. Agile principles is the day-to-day guideline. So these are the three things that you have to, and please explain it in this manner so that they understand that you know these things. And if they hire you, then you are going to teach developers, coders, and product owners, product managers, management, all of these things. Okay. Now let us go to, first let's go to the principles. So I'm going to ask you, I think most of you know these principles. So I'm going to ask you, each one of you, you can give me one principle, any principle you can pick one by one, but give me an example of that principle. If you give a beautiful example, great. Otherwise, we'll all help you in discovering that example. So who wants to start first? Agile principles. It's an open book. You can refer to the PPT also. PPT has it. But try to, from your real life, try to relate something. So at the end of this session, we would rehearse it so much that in any interview we can call out these principles and values. So who wants to go first? Give me the explanation of the principle, any principle, whichever you may want to. Venkatesh sir. So give me any principle and the example from that principle.
Face-to-face communication over video conferencing systems. Sorry, just uh, what I mean to say is face-to-face communication rather than just talking. Uh,
Face-to-face conversation is the most effective
Most
form of
effective
communication.
conversation. That's what
That is the principle. That is
principle.
the practice. Now give me
So
how do you
actually,
use it?
in our organization, we used to have meetings where we will speak with other teams who are at different locations. In
Hmm,
that perspective, what we are explaining, they are not understanding, and
hmm,
we cannot understand with emotional intelligence what actually they are. We pronounce some words with syllables, right? We emphasize some words, but they don't understand that perspective actually. If
hmm.
we have good communication, like face-to-face communication, we can make them understand. We can have some understanding that they are listening to us.
Fair enough. Fair. Anybody else wants to add to this example? So one of the, so again, I'm repeating, agile principles are your day-to-day practices. What you should do, what your teams should do on a day-to-day basis, which means we should do face-to-face communication rather than any other communication because it is the most effective way. But this is theory. How do you explain this in practical? Give me an example of how you have been using this principle. So yeah, I'll take Venkatesh sir's example, good example, any other example from your real life, or you have to give examples on these principles. That is what tells me that you understand these things and you have been practicing these things. Yes, Deepak.
Okay. I can go for.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
So senior developer is not agreed to attend daily stand-up. So we have to communicate with him and how to explain actually what is better for him actually for his uh, his promotion or something actually we can say, right? No, that is not the correct word.
that is,
Enhancement
so
or
let me give you a very simple example. This is, and you will all relate to it. I am a QA. There is a bug. I raise a bug, and there is a 3-page documentation I attach to that bug. Developer reads it, PO reads it. They take bloody 4 hours, 10 hours, one day, 2 day. Nobody understands what is happening. As against this, the QA calls PO and developer. They talk out. They have a video call among themselves. They explain what is the issue. Developer explains back. PO clarifies. Immediately within half an hour, 45 minutes, we can get a resolution of the bug. So rather than having a 2-page bug ticket, which is explaining all sorts of things, have a conversation with each other, face to face audio, better face to face, if not face to face, in person or audio, have that clarification done. It is a very quick method of, that is why people avoid it. I don't want to solve a bug. I will just update the ticket. I need more clarification and then run away to have my coffee. Isn't it how it happens? Because if QA is in front of me, PO is in front of me, we are discussing immediately in half an hour, 45 minutes, we can find out a solution. So this is what is meant by face-to-face communication is the fastest. Because it is fastest, if you have a critical bugs, have that conversation with face-to-face to clear these things. So this is, PC sir, you got this, right? So this way you are using this principle to explain it to these guys. So in your teams, if there are critical bugs, then developers and testers talk among themselves and sort it out so that the blockers are not built up. Fast action is taken on these bugs and quicker delivery is possible. Is this? Now you can use any other example, story clarification or blah, blah, blah. Basically any clarification. See, why are you here in face to face? Why are we talking and understanding these things? Because you could have Googled these principles, but Google reading text is no substitute for face to face communication, because you cannot have it's a one-way communication. Face to face is two-way communication. If you don't understand anything, body language also is there. We can seek immediate clarifications. So this way you can.
Okay, and one more thing, conflict management also one of the thing, right? We can communicate with, I mean, team members and
Now it makes total sense. Yes, now this is more. See, what PC sir's point is that if there is a conflict between the team, rather than sending emails, messages, better we talk to each other either face to face, in person, or audio, and clear out our misunderstandings or miscommunication. Yes, yes, beautiful point. Yes,
yeah, and
as
second
if
thing, any bugs or something. Okay, so suppose team members required help, so he can actually there is a team channel. Okay, on that team channel we can share that actually query, and team members can answer that like that also, right?
yes, yes. So face-to-face conversation is the most effective form of communication. Direct talk reduces confusion. Direct talk is way better than any email or a long documentation. So this is your agile. This is, of course, you can debate it that I don't agree with it. That is fine.
Yes, sir, but team channel is not face to face because it is sharing, right?
Yes.
And immediately all members are connect to that channel,
Yes. So
right?
we say face to face is the best form of communication. If there is, of course, face to face communication is not possible for everything. For
Yeah.
everything, you cannot have face to face. But for critical bugs, critical stories, important concepts, better you have these meetings or clarification in person. Your DSUs should be video calls. Your retrospectives should be video calls. Your sprint reviews should be video calls. Video calls, video calls, video calls. Rupa, Kiran, Sudipta, you understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Fine. No, no, no. I'm just pulling your leg. Okay, but we all understood. Yeah, Deepak.
Yeah, the other principle is customer satisfaction is highest priority. The
Okay.
customer satisfaction is highest priority. For this, we develop early and we review it with this customer in our sprint review calls. So
Mm-hmm.
that is, and we even know the get the feedback from our customer, and if even if there are a few changes, we try to accommodate the feedbacks also through the backlog refinement. So in this way, we ensure that customer satisfaction is the highest priority for us.
So face-to-face communication is the best form of communication was told by Venkatesh sir. He gave an example. We elaborated. Now Deepak is suggesting another principle. The actual words in the principle is customer satisfaction through early and continuous delivery. See, again, this is not theory. This is your day-to-day work. Customer satisfaction, but how do you satisfy the customer? Through early and continuous delivery, which means every sprint you give some increment. Every sprint you give some completed user stories. And what do you mean by early delivery? Early delivery means, let us say, um, for let us say for a e-commerce application, rather than waiting for 6 months to release, we can give a basic cart and a checkout feature immediately after a couple of months, or maybe in a month. Customers can start buying while the features like wish list, AI recommendation, customer reviews, they can come later. So in Agile, we say rather than waiting for 6 months, 8 months to give 10, 15, 20 features in a bundle, give them 2 features early on. At least have a basic functional app, then keep adding your features. So this is what is called early delivery. You have to explain these things in practical sense. This is not bloody theory. These are practical guidelines. Early delivery. So if some stakeholder comes to you, can you deliver 10 features? We can deliver 10 features, but we will deliver it early and continuously. So we will pick out 1 or 2 features now, we'll deliver it after 2 weeks, then you start using it, then in the third week another feature, then in the fourth week another feature. So this is what is meant by early and so in Agile we talk about customer satisfaction, but how? Through early and continuous. Early means you select few features, you give them, and continuously you give feature after feature in every sprint. This is the meaning of this. Is this clear? See, the greatness lies in simplicity. How simply you can explain these concepts. Don't make it complex. Don't overthink it. Okay, so you got this. So this is 2 principles done. Then what else? Who is so? Yes, Omkar sir, go ahead.
Yeah. So the business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. I think this is most important because the business people, which are either PO or BA, he knows what actually he wants, what customer actually wants, and he can convey it to the developer. And if they talk together continuously on daily basis, he can understand whether developer fully understand it, and uh, is he following the proper path toward delivering it. Because if at the end of the sprint, if PO gets to know that developer is delivering something else, so it will be chaos. So daily communication is the most important thing.
Yes, very good. Very nice. So Omkar says that business people and developers must work daily together. Business people and developers must work daily together. The example is, let us say there is a healthcare application. Developers and maybe a doctor is a domain expert. He is acting as a product owner. A doctor would know how in a healthcare application his prescription should look like to the customer or the patient. So he can help the developer immediately. He can clarify those doubts immediately. So the domain experts, which are your POs, and the developers must work together because of 2 things. It avoids miscommunication, misunderstanding, and it speeds up the decision. For example, the developer is stuck. He needs more clarification on the domain. He needs some domain information. Rather than waiting, if PO is not available, it will waste time. If PO is immediately available, within 2-3 hours, he is able to talk and clarify the doubt. The decision making is very quick. So this is the advantage of this principle, that collaboration between devs and POs increases the speed of the delivery and it avoids miscommunication and rework. Okay.
Sir, I
So
want to add in this example, sir, so that people can also say in the interviews. See, in the healthcare domain, what we observed is the collaboration between the business or the project side and the developers is very important, because we had an issue in that situation where the project manager who is working with that particular domain, healthcare domain, he said that okay, we have developed, the team is developing, but the thing is, there is an audit objection stating that what a doctor is accessing should not be accessed by the nurse and the hospital staff. And what one doctor is accessing should not be accessed by the other doctor until unless he's having authority to do it. So in that way, the application is completely moved and structured in a different way, so that that audit compliance has to be met. So instead of failing at the audit, we have collaborated early, so that where we focus and where we learn that product owner is very important in early decisions.
yes, good.
Yeah.
Very nicely explained. So this is a very good answer. Omkar also gave a very beautiful example. Venkatesh sir gave a beautiful example. So this way, if you can give examples while explaining these principles, then you will have a very, 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 very good chance of clearing. Okay, next. So we are done with 3 principles. Next.
To maintain constant pace so that a team is not overloaded or overworked. Based on that, PO can plan for the future release as well, which means a constant pace of work.
Sustainable development. So the correct word is agile. See, it's very important you use the correct words. I am hiring you to coach my team on these things. You are the expert. You understood? And again, I'm been very picky here. So I understand that you know, but knowing is not enough. You have to use the right words because you are the bloody experts.
Right.
If I was hiring a developer or a QA, he understands bit of agile, he knows basics of agile, I am fine with it. But now I am hiring a scrum master who is supposed to be the expert. He has to use the correct words.
Okay.
You got this, right? Okay. So, but it will come here. So it will not come now. It will come then 15, 20 days more of practice. But you understood. Lot of people will compare, Array, meri selection nahi hui. But boss, you are not using the right words. You are the experts. I am hiring the experts. At least experts should know these 15, 20, 25 principles and values. Yeah, that is why I am hiring you. This is your domain. You got this, right?
Yeah.
If I am hiring a banking domain expert, उसको debit credit ही नहीं पता तो फिर बात नहीं बनेगी ना. So okay, yeah, but the point was very point I will take, but the word you have to use is agile says sustainable development. But what does it mean then, Rupa? Steady pace, which means that you should work based on your velocity and the availability. You should not overcommit. The team should ideally respect the 80 hours of work in a sprint. Maybe once in a while they can go 85, 90 hours, but ideally they should not be working 14, 16 hours. Every sprint they should not be stretching because they will feel burnout. And Agile says that 12 hours or 14 hours working schedule is not sustainable. You cannot do it sprint after sprint. The quality of the product and the morale of the people are deeply have a negative impact if you do that. But only European and American companies. If it is Indian companies, please don't say such things. Say, I will encourage my team to work on Saturday. Okay. So I'm serious here. This is how it works. And startups also don't mention this sustainable pace. God knows, yeah. I have worked for a brief while with a startup. You don't know where you can land up. You have to adjust. You have to be adaptable. That's the only intelligent thing you have to do in life. So sustainable pace with very good companies, with mediocre companies, Indian companies, don't stress too much on this point. Okay. Then I mean people can get into arguments with you. Okay. So is this principle is also clear? Fine. Then sustainable pace, why? Because to avoid the negative morale of the team and the quality of the product. If people are working for 14 hours a day, they will make mistakes. They will run away also. So it has to be sustainable. Yes,
Sir, we
Mohammed.
can also say that the team has to be predictable and reliable. For having we have a sustainable space, then we can say that the team is predictable and reliable.
Yes.
That's what we can say.
Yes. Good point, Rupa and Venkatesh sir. Yes, Mohammed sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. The next one is welcome changing requirements even late in the development. Agile
Good.
process harnesses change for the customer's competitive advantage. So we can explain it as if in case the PO pushes a new story in between the sprint, that is mid sprint, then based if we can, that can be accommodated only if the criticality is established. So uh, established by pushing the non-critical items from the current sprint back to the backlog, and then this critical story, if it is a critical, then this can be accommodated.
Yes, yes, good. So, from my real life, the first time when I realized this is I was handling an ERP then. So they wanted. I'm from the peoples of background, so it's ERP. So HRMS system is what we were doing. So in HRMS system, the client wanted attendance integration. So we were working on attendance integration, and then suddenly they came up and said that they need the leave tracker also. So instead of saying no, we will only work on attendance integration, we said okay, we will accommodate because we understand leave tracking is also very important, without which you are going to fail. So in actually this happened, and we won a lot of accolades. The client was very happy with how we were able to adjust and accommodate. So you can give an example from your real life if that has happened. If it has not happened, then there must be a situation like this, it would have emerged, and then you can make up that story that you did this and it went on to become a. So this is yeah, so this is good. Welcoming change even late in development. So if the new story is so critical that it is going to impact the business, we are going to accommodate it, and lower priority items we can put it in the backlog. So that explanation you have to do. Okay, this is clear.
Sir,
And next, yes,
one
sorry.
more example. Let's say we are building a software or a product, and our competitor have a critical feature. So even in the late of the development, we can accommodate that to have a
Yes.
competitive things in market.
So basically, if the competition has come up with such a feature that if we don't do that, we will be out of the market, then we have to adjust, accommodate. But swapping can happen, swapping or extra hours. Ideally, swapping, if not extra hours, shared resources. Those are the things. Okay, good. Then we are done with 4 or 5 principles. I don't recall how many, but maybe 4 or 5. Which is who's the next one? Yes, Priyanka.
So one of the principle is we should, hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, the team should be self-organizing. So for this we can give an example like of the story points, like in this sprint, the team chooses the the stories according to, on their own, instead of the PO or the Scrum Master assigning stories to the team, from team.
Yes. Yeah. Fair answer. Fair answer. Fair explanation also. Any other example from anyone? Self-organize, or they regularly reflect and adjust. That's the actual principle. Regular, what do you say, reflection and adjustment on self-organization. Basically, team does a lot of retrospection. They try to improve continuously. They notice that maybe daily stand-ups are dragging for 30 minutes. They then come up with the suggestion that they will not get into too many technical deep dives. They will park these items so as to not waste the time in daily stand-up. So they are finding the issues and trying to find out resolutions. That's self-organization and self-reflecting team. You are encouraging the team to reflect and give suggestions through retrospectives, and that is how. Yes, Venkatesh sir, you want to
Sir,
make a point?
I can add an example here because
Mm,
we
mm,
had a scenario. So in
mm,
our organization, we are working on a project where that project is being blocked by the Fortinet. Fortinet is a firewall actually.
mm,
Whatever we are implementing, upgrading the communication system, it is blocked by the SOC team.
mm,
So if the blocked work percentage is increasing
mm,
completely, the team are just raising the escalations and they are sitting idle that okay,
mm,
that is blocked for some reason, but no one is
mm,
tracking actually. So
mm,
we have to have a self organizing means not just raising.
mm,
We have to track what is the status of that escalations also, because the escalation teams are also busy. So we have
mm,
to at least prioritize that thing. At least we have to do the baseline frontline servicing so that we can get the update. We have done this. That what I mean to say is we have to update the ticket stating that we have done this from our side. So you can use this for an early resolution. In that
mm,
way, we have cleared that backlogs and we learn how to do the baseline testing from our side so that we can update that thing in the remarks column of the what I mean to say that ticket so that they are also having some easy method to clear that resolutions. So in that way, the team is self-organized.
yes.
In a due course of time, that uh, many tickets have been resolved.
Yes, yes, yes. Good point. Then let's get to Wasim sir. What about the next principle?
Regular improvement by the way of retrospective,
Retro.
we can find out what are the things went wrong and what
Hmm.
we should do in the next sprint. Like, that is okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is more than okay. Fine. So who's left? Sudipta, your principle. Dipta is there. I think she might be traveling then.
There should be some frequent, not frequent, at least a weekly meeting with the business team and dev team so that we can confirm and we can
No,
clear
which is the
the
principle,
any
Kiran? The point you are making is correct.
collaboration between, there should
That
be a
is already been
collaboration.
that has already been discussed. Fair point. But we've already discussed this principle. Yes.
Oh,
Any other principle?
So simplicity, we should identify what is simple and what we should not do. Uh, like we should have a product where a simple feature should be developed, like a login feature, and not get into too much details.
Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done.
Not
This is
done.
actually my favorite principle. It tells you of not doing over engineering. This principle is basically, it says that choose simple solutions, simple designs over complicated solutions, because complicated solutions take more time to develop, more time to maintain, more effort, more troubleshooting. And customer is not paying you for complexity. Customer wants simple things so that it works, it is easy to maintain, troubleshoot, enhance. So give me an example, then I'll give you an example. Give me any example of how you should choose a simple design rather than a complicated.
So I can give an example. Like
Hmm.
recently, we had a call in our meeting, in today's call. So we were proposing solution like for a feature what we need to do. So the simple thing we decided is we will run a technical solution. We will run a job, and that job will update the table. Then we just need to update in our code. Whatever the records are there, we should not pull those records. So it's a simple solution. So instead of putting everything in our code, we just have a job that runs an SQL, and that SQL will dump the data. So whatever we don't want, those records we don't want, we will just add it in. We will have a other query in our code, and just we need to pull those records. So that is a technical way of doing. Then
Hmm.
another way is through our PO had a discussion there was a feature they were trying to, I mean, they were trying to streamline it. So they were checking the codes. There's a certain CPT codes that they have. So they were trying how to do it. So the simple solution is they have a backend. In the backend, they will update it. So that's the simple solution that they decided. So when these kind of simple solutions are useful.
Good examples here. Maybe for a travel app, rather than showing 3D globe and connecting animations with Johannesburg to Delhi or Bombay to whatever, showing a 3D globe, that is too much. Right, just show a simple this thing list and a filter here. It will save a huge amount of coding and effort. So that is another example of course, if the client needs it, that's another thing. But out of the given available solutions, whichever is the easiest solution, that should be chosen. So how you can explain in the interview is that as a Scrum Master, my focus and guidance to the team is that I always tell them that the effort, whatever they are building, the effort should be minimum. It should be efficient effort. We should not be building too complicated, or we should not be over engineering, and easy to enhance and maintain code. So which then you discuss it with your tech leads and your architects, that solutions should be such which are easy to maintain. So let us say you have 3, 4, 5 choices of building something. Whatever choice is results in a simpler code which is easy to maintain and enhance, that's the option the team should take. This is the principle that you are guiding. Eventually, whatever they are going to be choosing, it is up to them. Yes, Priyanka ma'am.
So, sir, I have an example from my organization. Is like we prepare reports for the players, like how they are placing the bets and what money, how much transaction they are doing daily, what they are doing. So, sir, based we have lot of like 48 to 50 reports. So, when the reports thing we were preparing, can we suggest like in the term of simplicity, like what are the 2 or 3 main basic reports that we show to the stakeholders, and if the reports are looking fine, then we can go to the other reports in a simple way. I mean, this example is okay.
Yes. Anything which comes out of your real life, acceptable, because it is an organic example. You'll be more confident in telling those examples. Yeah, fair answer.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Priyanka ma'am, you have a point.
Particular principle, can we also mention that that principle which you were explaining, that instead of incorporating all the features, we should focus on the main important basic functionalities of the product we are developing? Does that come in this category?
No,
Or it's a
basically
different-
the simplicity is basically your engineering solutions. It's a
Okay.
technical. So whatever engineering solutions, you can say don't overcomplicate in the process also. If let us say the processes also should be very simple. If it's a critical bug, don't close the story. If it is a non-critical bug, you can close the story. You are only going to block the stories if the bugs are critical. So that's a process you are going to set up for DoD. That also has to be simple. So you can give an example from a process also, but typically this principle talks about over engineering things. Yes, Abhilasha ma'am.
In this principle, can we say simplicity means how easy the product, how easy it is for customer to use this thing from end user point of view?
That also you can suggest. That also you can suggest. But essentially, this principle is do not over engineer things, because it wastes too much time, months and months of coding, and sometimes architects' ego or developers' ego is also into play. They will want to use complex solutions just to show off. Also, that is also happening, but it ends up having very tedious code to maintain. So yeah. Okay, Mohammed sir, you want to make a point?
Yeah, this is related to the same this one principle. So in my case, I had an example to share here. Our product has to go through a product upgrade. So in that case, the upstream files that we were receiving from the upstream system, those were not compatible with the product. So we had to do a lot of code change to accommodate that in the upstream system so that they can send the correct format to our product. But what we did is like we bought in intermediate solution, like we used ETL so that the older files only we will convert it into the newer format and then push it as an inbound file to the product, the updated product.
Nice. Good, good, good. So now I think I'm very happy that you guys are relating to your own projects or products that you have worked with. And if you can give those organic examples, even better. Good, 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 good.
So do we
So at
need
the end
to
of the day, one tip is how many principles you used in the interview. In when you are talking and explaining things, how many principles you were able to quote, how many examples you were able to give. If you are minimum 3 to 5 principles you are explaining, whether it is asked or not, in talking about different things, you have to quote these principles and examples. That will make you a very that will make you sound a very experienced Scrum Master. Okay, this is good. Then who else is left?
Yeah, I want to add. Next.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so build software around motivated individuals. It means instead of doing the micromanagement, let's provide the kind of environment or the support team needs and let's do their work. Let's say, in example, in daily Scrum, instead of asking about the status, what they are working or something, focus on the blockers. So
yes, yes, very good, very nice.
And also allow the team members or developers to choose the story as per their knowledge, convince, we can say, so that they can deliver faster.
Yes, maybe if they want AWS instead of Azure, you go ahead and support that. They may have technical reasons for it. For a UI team, it wants to use Node instead of Angular. Fine, go ahead and encourage them to ask them why. If they have significant and solid reasons, then encourage them to find their own solutions. This is good because they will see if UI team has chosen Angular over Node, then they will do very good work because they have to justify whatever they have. This is how the psychology works. So, okay, this is good. So, what else? I think we have some principles are still missing. Go ahead. Go ahead. First one was Venkatesh sir.
Sir, working software, I think missing, right? We miss working software. It is minimum. Yeah.
Working software is the primary measure of progress.
Yes.
Which means, are you a good team or are you not a good team? Working software is the primary source of success or measurement of our team. If we are able to deliver completed stories after every sprint, then we are a good team. But if we are not able to complete stories, then I don't care what you say about your team. We are not a good team because it is the working software which brings in the money. The new features which you can deploy to the customer side, that's what brings money. That is why Agile says, boss, value. Value is your working software. You can do 100 things, but if they are not completed and you cannot sell it to the customer, you're not doing a good job. So working software is a running product matters more than anything else. So, for example, before I give any example, any examples you can give from?
Yeah, actually, minimum actually delivery for, I mean, team have to focus on future, okay, not rather than documentation.
Very nice, very nice. Explain more. Give me
Uh,
an example.
so, for example, for example, suppose search functionality is there, right?
Beautiful.
Means how to develop that search functionality, but don't want to go through. I mean,
So
prepare before. Priorly.
We were building the search functionality once. So after 4 sprints or 3 sprints, we were able to deliver the search functionality, but the detailed design was not available. The LLDs were, HLD was there, but detailed design was not available. The documentation was not in detail, but our feature was ready. So after that, once we delivered it to the customer, then we worked on more detailed design. But in Agile, we don't care about a very detailed design, about 200% documentation. As long as the feature is working and you are able to deliver it to the customer, we are more than. You got this, right? So you, rather than a very detailed diagram or a documentation of 100 pages, nothing doing. Functional documentation is enough. HLD or LLD, which explains the overall working, is fine rather than too much into it. But the focus is on delivering the working piece of software. So you got the example. You gave a very good example, but you can add, I did not have a very detailed documentation. Rather than having a 50-page manual, we had only a 5-pager, but our main focus was delivering the feature. See, but please be very careful. Agile does not mean zero documentation. ये नहीं कि बिना कोई डिजाइन के और बिना there is a deployment guide in and you say that you have delivered. No, no, no. Agile does not mean zero documentation. It means minimal functional documentation, enough to deliver it to the client, not too many details. If they ask too many details, then you can add it in the later point of time. But no zero documentation. You still need to have a design. HLD document, you need to have an LLD document, you need to have a deployment guide. You need those, but not in too much detail. Is this? Because if you say no documentation, the interviewer will suddenly panic if he's an old guy. Hey, but what will we do without documentation? No, no, documentation is there, but not too much.
Sir, one more example of this principle, working software. So let's say we were yesterday learning about the Kanban. So in progress, if we have more than 8 10 work in progress items, but in the closed we have 1 or 2. So instead of focusing on work in progress, we should be focusing on more on how many items are closed, because those are coming from production directly.
Yes, yes, you can use it. Although not a 100% accurate example for this, but you can get away with it. It makes sense.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay, so now you have plenty of examples. Use these examples, use these principles in explaining your answers. And they may directly ask you how many principles you know, then you should know all these. If they may ask you your favorite principle, and then they will expect a explanation and couple of examples to prove that you understand it practically. I think we missed one, the architecture one. So the self-organized team principle is actually best architecture requirements designs come from self-organized team. So it has been observed that some of the best software in the industry has been produced by teams that are self-organized. They are not told do this. They develop solution themselves. So there is nobody holding their hand. They are trying to swim themselves. So this is what that principle means. Okay, I think we got through all 12. Did we miss anything?
Do we need to remember all 12? How to remember it?
You have to go through two, three,
Multiple
four
times.
times. It's tough, but at least 6, 7, 8 you can. But ideally, all 12. Yeah, especially Infosys and couple of other companies. There will be some agile coach or some stupid guy sitting thinking that they need to know everything. If they don't know principles, then they
I
are.
was asked this question, sir.
Yes.
But if we tell the principal, give the examples and scenario, then it would take 1 hour to explain everything.
Correct. So I think they will stop. You know it, right? You have to tell that you know. If they don't want to listen, that's fine. Typically, what happens is I will start the conversation, and if the guy is very confident, I'll move into some other topic. I know, okay, this guy knows this. I'll move to this. So you should be able to.
Okay.
Okay. See, again, I'm reiterating. You are the expert, boss. You are the Agile and Scrum expert. If you don't know these principles, then it's tough. If you are coming for a developer's interview, then yeah, if you know 5, 6, I'm fine with that. If you know basics of it. But if you are a Agile expert, then you should know it. See, if you have worked for 4, 5, 6 years in SM, you would know these things. So that's the okay. Then okay, so principles are done. Then next is we have enough time. So next is the 4 values. Again, give me the 4 values. So these agile principles are your day-to-day practices. Agile values is the philosophy. What is the most important thing for your team? It tells you the most important things for you. So what is the, who will tell values now with examples? Come on.
Sir, I can say
Uh,
individuals individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Actually, in our before this all we in our government organizations, we don't have many softwares like we earlier we don't have Jira and all these things. We used to use a Kanban board by just using a whiteboard with a three
Nobody is going
columns.
to believe that in government organizations you don't have processes. We will die with processes with the government
I'm
organizations.
saying the tools, sir. Tools like software tools kind of a thing. We
Okay.
don't have because there are security restrictions. Even if you are asking for the tools, they will say that this is not whitelisted. So that's kind of a thing I'm saying. So we used to have three
Which
columns.
tool do you don't have? You don't have
Uh,
Jira?
Jira, we don't have Jira
So
till
how are you building Kanban
2020.
board?
Kanban board is made in-house in our application.
Oh man.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
you know,
You are just playing with it. Okay, fine. But
no,
you'll get.
actually, it is made because they said that we cannot use in internet. We will use in our domain PCs only. There is
Okay.
separate domain kind of IAF domain. So in
Mm-hmm.
that way, so we used to have a board where we discuss to do in progress and done. So
Mm.
that is we experienced more collaborative than having a tool.
Oh, understood.
So we had a face-to-face interactions there.
Yes, yes, yes. I think we already gave an example. Let us
Face.
say a QA updates a bug in Jira. The developer will look at that update after 4 hours. Then they will ask a question to a PO. PO will again look at email or Jira after 4 hours. And this will take 2, 3 days to solve this. As against this, rather than depending on Teams ping and Slack ping and Jira updates, call each other and figure out. So individual interactions over processes and tools, individuals and interactions are more important than processes and tools. The process is that you will update the Jira, you will ask the PO will give a clarification. Okay, that's processes and tools are there. But if you can directly interact with people, that is a much faster and an accurate way of working. This is clear. Okay. Then next,
Next, I think we discussed is working software over documentation.
Yes, yes. We
So,
gave a lot of examples. Give me one more.
like if a requirement has come in, a requirement just came in. So we
Hmm.
understood the requirement instead of having a design and everything. Instead of that, we just took the requirement and developed it because it was essential and it was very important. So in our mid sprint also, we
Maybe they wanted a mobile application. So instead of creating a 50-page detailed mobile app design, you just created a simple prototype, but you save time, but using that time, you were able to develop few features and show it to the client.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wherever I'm trying to pitch in so that you can complete your examples. So this is good. This is good. Then next.
Responding to changeover plan.
Responding to changeover, following a plan.
Following a plan.
We again gave multiple examples on that. Sudden issues come, sudden criticalities come, we can accommodate. Fine. Then next. I think next one is also customer collaboration over customer negotiation. Similar thing, that rather than resisting any last minute change, you are going to help the business in accommodating changes and helping them out. You will not it is in scope, out of scope. If it is beneficial to the business, you will do it. But of course, you will discuss the trade-offs. If it is very valuable, you will do this, but you will drop a lesser priority feature. Okay, so 4 values and, oh man, after an hour, we have done with 4 values and 12 principles. But please, again and again, 2-3 times, go through it. 100% they are going to ask you, and please quote these things. Okay, it may sound theory, but actually it is not theory. So in short, people are greater than tools. Work in product is greater than documents. If you forget all of this, you can't remember. I have a very poor memory. So like me, if you have a very poor memory and under pressure, you forget things, at least remember this much. In Agile, people are greater than tools. Working product is greater than documentation. Collaboration is greater than contracts. And adaptability is greater than fixed plans. That's the crux of things. People and their interactions are more important than tools, and documentation is of lesser importance. Working software is of more importance. Adaptability or agility or flexibility is more important than a fixed plan. Okay. Then let me share the screen and explain you. This is in the so there is an empirical process control. One sec, let me share the screen. And do not confuse. These were agile principles and values. Scrum principles and values are different. Okay. Kanban principles are again different. So don't get confused between the three. And why you need to know, because I've already explained you enough. Okay. So empirical process control, that's the first principle of Scrum. And it has the 3 pillars of Scrum. They may ask you, what are the 3 pillars of Scrum? TIA, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. But this is theory. Give me examples from real life. How do you do TIA? Transparency is nothing but your backlog. Backlog is visible to the entire world, isn't it? Your product backlog is visible to the entire world. Your sprint backlog is also visible to the entire world. Everybody can see what is our roadmap. Everybody can see what are the things we are going to be working on. Everybody can see what are the things that we are currently working on. How many bugs we have, how many stories we have, how many technical stories. Everything is visible to everybody. So how do we decide the quality of our product? Our definition of done is also there with everybody to see. If there is a critical bug, we don't close. We do a unit testing, we do code reviews, we do peer reviews. Whatever definition of done is, what is DOD is our quality check. So it is there right in front of us what quality we are. So everything is transparent and visible. That is the first key component of Scrum. In Scrum, we say we are fully transparent. Transparent means product backlog, sprint backlog, DOD, DOR, everything is visible to you. There is nothing hidden. Okay. Then second, inspection. We inspect everything. We make a plan in sprint planning, but whether that plan is going fine or not, we check in daily stand-up. Whether our sprint plan is going as per target or not, we check every day in our daily stand-up. So that is your inspection and adaptation. Then again, in the sprint review, we inspect whatever we have completed. Is it acceptable to the business or not? Another inspection. Then in retrospective, another inspection, we are looking at all our tools, processes, whether people are happy, sad, that inspection. So every day, each of these events help us in inspecting various things. Daily stand-up helps us in inspecting we are moving towards the sprint goal or not. Sprint review inspects the increment. Sprint retrospectives inspects the processes and tools. And then adaptation, again, if there is any deviation from the plan, we adapt in the DSU. In the sprint review also, we adapt, we add additional stories. If there are enhancements, we identify fixed bugs. And in retrospectives, we also adapt. If something does not go well, we give more suggestions. We take up those action items. That's adaptation. So transparency, inspection, and adaptation. But you have to explain through these events. If you can explain through these events how sprint review is inspection and adaptation, how DSU is inspect and adapt, how retrospectives is inspect and adapt, then you are fully understanding this concept and you will be able to excel in your interview. Is this clear? TIA. This is the basic of Scrum. Every Scrum Master should know what is TIA. Transparency means backlog, DOR, DOD, sprint backlog, everything is visible. All those links are available to the entire stakeholders and management. You can see what we are doing. What about quality? DOD. What about, are you picking up the right word? DOR. Everything is there, transparent. No hidden work. What is Deepak doing? You can see Deepak's dashboard. What is PC doing? We know. What is Venkatesh sir doing? What is Avila? Each QA, each developer, what is everybody doing? You can see it in Jira. Everything is visible. Nothing, no hidden work. Then inspection and adaptation, all those events, how you are inspecting and adapting. Is this clear to all of you? Will you be able to explain TIA properly? So how are you as a Scrum Master? Well, I follow Scrum principles. How do you follow Scrum principles? I follow TIA, which is the basics. Normally, people start with explaining Scrum principles and Agile principles first, but I don't do that. It's the other. Once you understand Scrum, now you are able to appreciate these principles. If we had discussed these at the start, you would have been very confused. Now you understand. So TIA is how you work. Transparency, you have that backlog, sprint backlog, those all those Jira dashboards you will create. I'll show you how all those reports, everything is visible. So that's transparency. Inspection and adaptation, all those events you are conducting to inspect and adapt your plan, your processes and tools, your increment. Is this clear? Okay, man. Okay, man. One sec. Then, so then next is self-organization. This we have spoken about. What is self-organization? Blah, blah, blah. Collaboration. Collaboration again, PO, Dev, and QA, all three together. In grooming calls, in daily stand-up, in planning meeting, in reviews, you are making sure everybody is working together and they are not working in different directions. And this is the major change from the previous way of working, where all these three teams were different teams. Now they are working together. Value-based prioritization is another principle, which means we don't just pick up work. We pick up work based on the value. So there is prioritization. And we make sure the items are prioritized. Why? Because we want critical items to be finished first. If there is a spillover, it should happen on the lower priority items. How do you do prioritizations? We have 3-4 different methods, which probably we'll discuss on Thursday or Friday. Time boxing, I make sure the events are short and crisp. Unnecessary time is not wasted. The focus is there. The sense of urgency is there. Overthinking is not there. So please go through these 3-4 words which you have to use. Time boxing is important. You cannot have 45 minutes DSUs. You cannot have 4-hour grooming calls. Don't overthink the things. Don't overanalyze things. There has to be sense of urgency and no unnecessary talk. Iterative and incremental, you already know what is iterative and incremental. Step by step, and incremental, one feature after another. Iterative is we are working in sprints. So 10-day development cycle or 20-day development cycle. So this is your Scrum principles and now values. I have to. Okay. I know you guys are now tired, but just 5 more minutes now. Okay. So we went through Agile principles. We went through Agile values. 12 principles, 4 values, all practical things. Then we spoke about 6 Scrum principles. Again, everything practical. TIA, you should know, self-organizing, time boxing, prioritization, all of these. Again, all of these are practical things. Any one of these things you are missing out, there will be problems in the team. You don't do prioritizations, it'll be a problem. You have very lengthy calls, unnecessary discussion happening, problems. So all these, you are not doing sprint review properly, problems. So everything has a unique value to it, and we have to do it as much as we can. Now let me go to the. So PC sir, you made that comment that too much technical. So these are the things that you have to explain in the interview. If the guy is thinking this is too technical a discussion, these are the things they expect you to know. The practices, the day-to-day problems, the philosophy, the mindset. These are the things. Okay. So commitment. Now this is how a Scrum team should behave. Commitment. The development team commits to delivering a potentially shippable increment by the end of the sprint. They agree to complete 5 backlog items. But a member who is a UI developer, backend developer suddenly goes missing or he is not well. So UI guy says, okay, you guide me, I will help out in closing out those stories which has basic backend tasks. So developers can help in testing also. Testers can sometimes say, okay, there are less developers, don't do unit testing, we will do a very comprehensive testing, we will help you out. That kind of adjustment will only come if people are having commitment to do whatever they have taken up. If they have committed 5 stories, they will do these things to deliver these. So this is what you have to explain. This is how you have to behave in a Scrum team. You have to show commitment. Then focus. Focus means that somebody pings, hey, Wasim, can you work on this item first? He says, no, I have a critical story. It is marked as critical. I will complete my story first, then I will take up any ad hoc work. That is what is meaning. So all these Scrum values are basically how should people behave. People should have a focus. Rather than taking an ad hoc work, they should, or a last minute thing, they should focus on the critical and high value items and concentrate on the sprint goals. Unless there is a change which is so critical, then that's a separate. Openness. So openness is that people are not shy of raising concerns. So an example is team member encounters a technical roadblock and says that there is a huge problem that I am facing. Maybe the microservices architecture that we are using, it's not going to work. I have some other suggestion or whatever it is. Now that suggestion, that design change may impact your product in a very bad way. But you are not shying away from it. It is better to escalate in DSU rather than facing a customer escalation. So let us say Deepak finds a critical issue with the design of the product. In doing one of these stories, he finds that the way our product is working, it has issue. He raises it in the DSU. Bingo, great. Deepak has done a great job. Because if Deepak is not raising this, then the customers will raise it and it will be a bigger hole for a team to come out. It is better that developer is doing. That should be the behavior of people. They should not be shy of doing this. Again, these are things you have to say in the interview. In real life, please, yeah. Okay, don't become Anil Kapoor's Nayak. Okay, this is not movie. Okay, I don't know. It's an old movie. I don't know whether you have seen or not. Okay. Respect. Again, respect is especially if a junior is giving a suggestion, then seniors should be humble enough to take it, and if it is useful, use it. So everybody should have an opinion, and Scrum Master has to make sure that there is no personal criticism of anybody. Only work-related criticism should be there, or feedback. And any negative feedback is not a personal. If I say, PC sir, that this design does not look good, that's a criticism of the design, not of PC. If I'm saying, Sudipta, this bug clarification, the bug, it should tell which environment the bug is raised, what is the issue, what functionality it is impacting. It is a criticism of the practice that Sudipta is following over raising a bug, not a personal criticism of Sudipta. So it's very important that we have respect for people. Work will automatically follow here. Even if somebody is doing zero story, you have no right of screaming at him and criticizing him in public. One-on-one discussions, that sort of. Courage. Courage is Scrum Master has to show courage in saying no. So last minute they say on the 7th day, 8th day of the sprint, they add up 3 more stories. Can we completely do it? Can we work an extra Saturday and do it? We can do it, but if we compromise on the quality, then it will be major escalation. So the Scrum Master has to raise that concern of unrealistic deadlines. Sustainable work practices for the long-term health of the team is required. If there are unrealistic deadlines, our velocity is 30 points. PO wants us to pick up stories worth 50, 55 points. You have to guide, we have to explain them that, boss, let us concentrate on the critical stories now. We will do maybe 30 instead of 30. Let's pick up 1 extra story, but 4 extra stories, 5 extra stories, and that too without prioritization, then that's not possible. These are unrealistic things. We will end up having difficult time. So that sort of communication, Scrum Master and the team has to do with the PO. So that is your courage. You have to say no, right? At times. Otherwise, if you don't say no, you will end up overcommitting. Team will be, instead of doing 30, you have done 32 points, which is better than your average. But you have taken 50 points. They will say, oh, you have only done 60% of your work, you are a bad team. Why? Because you did not have the courage to say no. It happens. Let's party, let's party. You don't have the courage to say no. Then what happens? You end up having a very bad hangover or health issues. Anyways, that's a okay. So in real life also, you should have the courage to say no. You can't be a yes man always. So typically, I also see that trait in my interviews. So whether somebody has the ability to say no or not, because nobody in your team will say no. And especially in the culture we are in, everything is yes. So at least developers and QAs will not say no. You are hired to say no. If you are taking too much work, if it is an unrealistic deadline, if whatever is the situation, it is unrealistic, you have to voice it out. That's the major culture setting that these come. But you can't be blunt. You have to be diplomatic and you have to play with your words. But you have to say, you have to have a courage of saying no to unrealistic demands. Okay. So these are your 5 values with examples. If you do not tell examples, then it is of no use. So please make sure you are explaining these things with examples. And if you do not know 5 values, Scrum values are your behavior patterns, how the team should behave. They should have respect for each other. They should have courage. They should be open. All of the collaborative, commitment, all of these things. This is how team should behave. Then Scrum principles, TIA, tells you the importance of inspect and adapt. How do you conduct those events? Then transparency, all backlog should be transparent. So all these are practical guidelines. If you think this is theory, boss, I am hiring you because you know these practices. My developers and coders, they know how to code and test, but they do not know these things. These are the things that you have to tell them. Is that clear? You tell me, if a Scrum Master knows how to code in Java and maybe he's a very good tester, I should hire him. But he does not know all these things. Does it make sense? No. I need a domain expert. I need a Scrum expert. Scrum experts should know these things. So very important that you go through these things and explain them nicely in the interview. I think these things are not very difficult. These are very easy things to master. But a lot of the people are under assumption that this is some theory bullshit. It is not needed. Boss, these are the things that you should know. That is why I'm hiring you. Okay. So I've spent a lot of energy in making sure that you guys understand the importance of these things. And you are the experts. You should know these things. Now, any clarifications, questions?
If we are not able to give real-time examples for any of these principles, is it fine?
Already it's there, examples are there. In the PPT, it's there.
Okay.
It's there. For all values, principles, examples are there. It's not the end of the world. Eventually, in the 2, 3, 4 interviews, you will pick up these examples. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay. Practice these things, then give your mock interviews, blah, blah, blah. You know, I have to say the same things every day. You know, you have to do the same things every day. That is the secret of mastery. Repetition is the secret of mastery. That's what they say. You have to do same thing again and again to become expert in it. That's how it works. So you have to go through these things 2, 3 times, and then you should be, the flow will come in the interview. So if you can explain these things, talk about these things, then you will come across as an experienced Scrum Master who knows how to guide the team and resolve their issues. Okay. Okay, enough of talking. But good thing is that you guys are practicing well. A lot of you gave good examples. Some of you were stuck at some point, but please go through them. Complete your examples. Okay. So anything else before we wind up for today? Are you all good?
Yes.
Okay then, yeah. Surprisingly, no questions today. Really? Okay. That's nice. Okay. Okay, so next time, so all your principles are done, but make sure Kanban principles, Scrum principles, all these things you go through 2-3 times. You're the experts, you need to know this. Then next time we'll discuss probably either Jira spillovers or maybe we'll get into scenario based questions. We'll see. Okay, I'll just do a quick poll. Okay, I'm not well now. This batch is not asking any questions. What is this?
Sir, CI/CD also pending, right?
Safe framework also.
Safe.
Yeah,
I have
safe.
worked
Yeah,
in
even I
safe.
also about to ask them.
Not able to recall
Safe.
it.
Safe, yeah, safe will be last week of September. Once we have done with everything else.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. Say we'll have 3-4 sessions.
No, I have worked on it in my previous organization. They used to have a thread on, but I'm not able to recall it exactly.
No, don't worry. You'll get it. Okay, you will have more details than you need. Yeah, don't worry. Okay. Okay, team, have a nice midweek break. See you on Thursday. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.